Welcome back to today's MVP clip. You know, I was thinking of what I wanted to post today, or what I wanted to post throughout the week. I don't really want to post. I want to take a step away from gaming, and I wanted to inspire new MVP members and old MVP members of an even older MVP legend. So I want to add him to the MVP chapters. Today I'm going to read about BlEEDING, whose name is Rykers, and his story on becoming the 3rd lieutenant of MVP's first gen. It's a very nice tale. He's one of the best, and he's one of those guys that you always need in a 6-man or a 5-man or whenever you're going on COD. He is the perfect fucking candidate, perfect fucking asset, amazing fucking friend, and just, if you need someone to really have your back, if you need someone to really make the other team struggle when it comes to them trying to push you aggressively or offensively wise, he is the fucking guy. So let me tell you about this great guy, and let's get on with the story here. Okay, so here we go. I wrote this on Thursday, October 27th, 2016. So, BlEEDING is MVP's greatest defensive player in the family. Also, he's your Faces BlEEDING's younger brother and joined on January 23rd, 2011. BlEEDING's legacy is very difficult to explain because he wasn't really the strongest member on the team, nor the fastest, but when it came to defense, he was the greatest of all time. Once in a lobby, he would instantly check the lobby leaderboards to determine the lobby's best players, so that he could have the guns necessary to hold his own. After he figures out what classes to use, there would always be trash talkers trying to talk smack to MVP. So Rykers would also be the first person in the fam to make them eat their words. Therefore, once the match starts, his will to win becomes even greater than the first cap in the decade of the first generation in 2011. During the match, BlEEDING would do 3rd gen strat, running with the closest MVP member near him to a location on the map that's indoors and out of sight. So he could combine 3rd gen strat with 2nd gen strat, which is holding down any house, spawn trapping, and getting countless streaks helping the fam. The streaks BlEEDING would use was UAV, counter UAV, RC car, and sentry gun because it was easy to get, plus pissed off the enemy. Also, if Rykers notices one UAV, counter UAV, orbital, guardian, or even a sentry gun, he would destroy these streaks in an instant. BlEEDING was the kind of member that knew his abilities along with his teammates, so instead of focusing on killing all the enemies on each map, he decided to focus more on teamwork than anything else, which is why his defense strategies are even greater than the 3 previous captains. Therefore, along the 5 generations of MVP, Rykers has had reincarnations of himself, like the 4th lieutenant of MVP's 5th gen, Fragile Blades, 3rd lieutenant of 5th gen, DA, and 1st lieutenant of 5th gen, Rambo the Great. Also, Eternal Scared, a member of 5th gen, Young Prince, the 5th lieutenant of 4th gen, Very Funny 2002, the 11th lieutenant of 4th gen, Gabe, the 3rd lieutenant of MVP's 3rd gen, and Daniel the Soldier, who you guys have seen in the Zombies clip, the 4th lieutenant of MVP's 3rd gen. Furthermore, Live to Kill, a member in MVP's 2nd gen, and Defend My Honor, the 4th lieutenant of MVP's 4th gen, but is a part of the 2nd generation. Therefore, due to all these reincarnations, earned him 2 nicknames which are the original underdog, and safeguard, meaning a measure a measure taken to protect someone or something, or to prevent something undesirable. In the era of the first generation of 2011, Rykers joined MVP alongside his brother Brandon, debuting on the map Yemen with Cheesemo. During the match, Rykers went far right in the household with a teammate to spawn trap the enemy consistently. Sadly, he wasn't getting quick kills because there was 3 players on the other team, but that didn't stop Blackmacheesemo from dropping counter UAV in 2 minutes of the match. Then, players started joining, which allowed Rykers to drop a UAV that was very helpful for your faces bleeding and Cheesemo doing first gen strat, running around the map getting kills. Also, since the other team had 6 players, Rykers had to set up claymores around the house, preventing them from entering. But Rykers had to advise the fam on spawn switches since he was in the middle of the map. During the middle of the TDM match, Cheesemo dropped attack helicopter for air support, which made 3 players rage quit, allowing the remaining 3 players to camp. Blackmacheesemo noticed this strategy, so he called in his attack dogs, forcing them to come out of hiding and giving away their own positions. So your face is being called in a counter UAV while BlEEDING second UAV was in the air, furthering our chances on winning this one-sided match. BlEEDING was congratulating Cheesemo for going 27 kills without dying before Cheese let his guard down and died. Then Cheesemo called in his second attack helicopter near the ending of the match. BlEEDING started rushing since the match was ending in 5 kills, also because there was air support. So the match ended and we won 75-8, making us the strongest generation for 4 years of MVP. Therefore, BlEEDING went 10 kills, 1 death. Your face is bleeding went 17 kills, 4 deaths, and Blackmacheesemo went 41 kills, 2 deaths. In the era of the second generation in the year 2012, BlEEDING brought Call of Duty Black Ops 2, along with his brother Brandon, whooping ass and taking names without Cheesemo. Until the founder of MVP was defeated for the first time by WWE in BO1, which he then bought BO2, finally understanding what it means to be a true leader. 2 weeks later, Cheesemo invited BlEEDING, Brandon, and WWE to a party so we could all reunite. Then we headed online, but the attitude of gamers had changed compared to Black Ops 1, because they started talking shit about MVP. Also, these online competitors would say, "Look, it's the most valuable pussies. Everyone, I'm afraid now." Then both BlEEDING brothers would start dissing each person in the lobby. BlEEDING stated, "You should be, and get ready to go negative," which was one of Cheesemo's catchphrases back in the day. The lobby always start laughing like Rykers was bluffing or something, so Cheesemo would ensure a victory no matter the cost, because Rykers was family. After a week, players started joining MVP like Live to Kill, Defend My Honor, Dead End Shot, and Harem, which Rykers started to notice a new team emerging within the fam. Therefore, Cheesemo 2 months later noticed there was too many MVP members online, so it was time for ground war action. Blackmacheesemo invited Your Face is Bleeding, BlEEDING, Live to Kill, Harem, Defend My Honor, WWFS, and Crazy Killer into a party. Once all gathered, BlEEDING stated, "Since MVP is getting bigger, we need a leader." And we could all agree that's Cheesemo. The others agreed quickly and stated, "Cheese, you would make a great cap." The founder of MVP said, "I don't think I'm ready for such an important position yet. Plus, even though I'm the founder, Edward is still the first captain." Everyone was curious on who Edward was. and Cheese stated he's my mentor. Plus, besides him teaching me how to play COD, we're equally matched. Your Face is Bleeding stated, this is why only you could surpass him, bro. Furthermore, Cheesemo understood everyone's hope that he would surpass Edward and take MVP to heights unimaginable. So then we went online and had a great MVP day. Before Cheese signed off, he didn't realize that he was such a big inspiration towards everyone during his lieutenant run. Next page. In the era of third generation in the year 2013, BlEEDING had won over 900 clan wars with an MVP and became the funniest member in the family. Also, since Rykers played every day, allowed us to win 43 games without losing in TDM, which till this day of 2016 hasn't been broken, making the first gen the strongest for 4 years of MVP. During the weeks of consistent victories, after victories, BlEEDING started dropping 20 plus kills every few games with either a rocket launcher or a Scar H. Then the first Captain Edward had returned and met the BlEEDING brothers, the original Lieutenant WWE, and all 3 generations. Blackmacheesemo was excited to see his teacher being the first Lieutenant of MVP's first generation. Also, Rykers checked out Edward's score per minute, KD, and was shocked of how good he was. So once online, it was impossible for him to get at least 10 kills because Edward and Troy were obliterating the enemy forces. BlEEDING said, okay, it was hard enough getting 15 kills with Cheesemo only in the party. Now we're just gonna run laps now because Edward and Cheese are in their own army. The first match we played was on Nuketown 2025. Cheesemo wanted to challenge the first cap with a SVU to see who would get more kills. BlEEDING was camping in the window upstairs, spraying the enemy in the other house, while Cheesemo was dropping stealth chopper, escort drone, and counter UAV. Edward dropped UAV and orbital VSAT. Even Brandon was struggling to get kills. Plus, Cheesemo and Edward weren't even using their best guns, but tied 35 kills. The next week we were on Nuketown again, but it was Cheesemo, Ducks on Quack, BlEEDING, Your Face is Bleeding, WWFS, and Hero. Furthermore, Rykers insisted we camp at the back of our spawn with light machine guns and let the enemy come towards us to then get killed. Blackmacheesemo stated, that would waste time, guys. But Rykers said, let's have fun for once, Cheese. Therefore, Cheesemo agreed, and we started pissing people off. Once the match started, the enemies were all in the middle, wondering why they hadn't heard a single bullet or saw one person. So after a good minute, one of the enemies went through Orange Garage and got blasted by light machine gunners. Cheese and Rykers laying down in the flower pit after the bullets went off. One enemy after another kept getting put down. So the enemy team decided to flank left side of the house, but still got killed. Therefore, one smartass ran through the house upstairs while his teammate went downstairs, but still didn't work because we were prone watching those doorways. During the middle of the match, several people rage quit once Cheese called in his stealth chopper. Ducks on Quack got lightning strike, Rykers dropped RC car, and Hellstorm. Cheesemo said, this is the funniest match I've ever had. So since there was 9 kills to win, we all pushed up and beat them 75-11. Several weeks later, Cheesemo was introduced to the new pioneers, who are Hockey Gagny, Codfather, and Gabe, by the first captain. Also, Cheese told Edward that no longer should we be evenly matched because I want to 1v1 you. If I win, I'll become the second cap, but if I lose, you could be captain for another generation. Therefore, like said in previous chapters, Blackmacheesemo was promoted to second captain of MVP, and Ryker, along with the entire fam, was proud. In the era of 4th generation in the year 2014, BlEEDING had truly grown up in MVP fam, being an uncle, an original pioneer to generations of members after himself. Also, BlEEDING decided to conquer other video games while playing with Cheesemo, sometimes, but after noticing his bro buying Advanced Warfare, he decided to take a long break from Call of Duty, especially starting grade 10. But from time to time, Cheese would have conversations with Ryker over Facebook. Furthermore, during his 2-year break from Call of Duty, he bought a PlayStation 4, playing with his bro for several weeks till he broke it. Therefore, the second captain of MVP tracked Ryker down on Facebook again of the year 2016, explaining new events in MVP, caps on all the same captains on all the same console, and upcoming 4th captain tournament. So Cheesemo promoted BlEEDING to the 3rd lieutenant of MVP's 1st generation, which means he'll participate in the upcoming 4th captain tournament of 2018. The end. So this was a small chapter, but that's only because I wanted to highlight, like, BlEEDING has done so many matches with the fam, but I wanted to list the very special ones that I liked. He's a very cunning, he's a very clever, he's a very awesome guy. And the cool thing about playing with Ryker is that, like, he takes you out of serious mode. He takes you out of sweat mode. Like, yeah, we're all sweating to win, but he takes you to a different mode where, like, you can try, but at the same time, you can crack jokes, you know? Like, Ryker was just naturally just funny. Here I am, you know, a fucking lieutenant, fucking member at his peak. Here I am, a second captain. And no matter what day it is playing with Ryker, no matter how serious I'm taking the game to try to win, to try to get our name out there, to try to get more members, to try to be the best, to try to stay the best, Ryker always kept me kind of relaxed and kind of reminded me that at the end of the day, we're all having fun together. And just like I said in that last match we had on Nuketown, like I said, you know, that's a waste of time. We should just attack and destroy them. But Ryker's like, no, 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 no. And he actually made it a little more fun for all of us. And yeah, it was a great MVP day, and that's gonna be in the history book. So I hope you guys enjoy this chapter. I'm gonna read another chapter after the fact. It's gonna be about Hiram, and then tomorrow you guys get to hear about the original lieutenant, the guy who created the lieutenant rank, the guy who created the 1st gen strat, the guy who is hashtag the greatest strategist in MVP history. But today was about Ryker. I miss him. He has a family now, and he's all grown up. So let's keep moving forward together as a family. I love you all, and peace.